Hello and welcome back to another episode of the BNI Southeast Tennessee podcast. My name is Michael Crosa with Chattanooga Podcast Studios, and I'm here with Elaine Zambos, Director of BNI Southeast Tennessee. Elaine, what are we talking about today?
We're going to talk about the difference between marketing and advertising.
All right, Elaine, marketing and advertising. Same thing, right?
No.
Tell me more. Tell me why. Teach me.
Marketing is totally different than advertising, and advertising and marketing is totally different than sales. Okay? All of those words get mushed together.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I do marketing. Well, really? Like, what does that mean? Mm-hmm. Or I do advertising. Okay. Most people don't want to say they do advertising. They want to say they do marketing. For some reason, advertising is an ugly word, right?
Yeah.
And people most definitely don't want to say they do sales. Like, that's really an icky word. No, I do marketing. So marketing becomes this bucket of nice words, and it gets so convoluted that nobody even knows what it is, right? Yeah. So let's take it back to the very basics of marketing. So let me give you an example.
Okay.
Let's pretend big box store is running an ad for tablets.
Okay.
And these tablets are hot. And they're selling these tablets for $150 each.
Okay, right on.
Okay?
Yeah.
And you see that ad, right? You see the ad for a $150 tablet. You get in your car, you drive over to the big box store, you run in, and they say, "May I help you?" And you said, "Yes, I want that $150 tablet."
Yeah.
And they say, "We don't have any.
Uh-oh.
We're sold out." Okay. So did the marketing work?
I guess neither of it worked, right? Because there was no sale.
The market.
Well, yeah. Now I'm thinking about it because, the advertising would have been the ad in the.
The advertising worked. Advertising gets people to take action.
Okay.
You took action and you went to a big box store to purchase.
Yes.
The marketing failed because there was no product to buy.
Yeah.
So the marketing failed.
Okay.
Sales couldn't happen.
Right.
And so marketing is not about getting the product to market. Marketing is everything else. Like when you got to a big box store, were the windows clean? Were the sidewalks clean? What's the building look like on the outside?
Gotcha.
Because I'm sure you've been to places before and you're like, whoa,
yeah, like,
I'm not going to go in there.
Right.
That's all of that is part of the marketing. The advertising is what gets you to have action. I was talking to a friend the other day, and he was saying to me, "Gosh, I just don't understand why our sales are so down." And I'm like, "Well, let's talk about that." He's like, I go, "What are you doing?" He goes, "We're doing incredible marketing." I'm like, "Well, tell me about your marketing." And, they're putting stuff out onto all the socials, right? Like, so they're getting the name recognition, right? That's what marketing does, is so people think about you, right? It gets that name recognition. But the advertising is what moves people to purchase whatever it is you're selling.
Okay.
Right? So like car dealerships are great with advertising, right?
Yeah, you see them everywhere.
You see them everywhere. You see the ads, and they are asking you to come in and trade in your car and buy a new car. And you don't even have to have any money down. And sometimes you can do it with a dime in your pocket, right?
Yeah.
Like that is, but if you get there and you've got that dime in your pocket, but they can't sell you a car, the advertising worked. It got you there. The marketing is what failed.
Gotcha.
Right? So we always have to make sure that they're both in alignment, that you can't depend on one without the other. Because if all you do is great advertising, but then you don't have any marketing to back it up.
Right.
Like, for instance, enough salespeople on the floor or enough people, it fails miserably. And we see it all the time in restaurants. Like, we'll go into a restaurant, right? We've taken action to go to a restaurant, but yet we can't get served or it's a 2-hour wait because they don't have enough staff. Right?
Yeah.
So that's how it happens. So marketing is all of those things that people do to give you a perception of their business. The advertising is what drives you to the business.
Gotcha. So in that example of the guy that came to you was talking about, sales are down, like whatever. What's your advice on where do you start?
Are you asking for the sale? Are you asking for the business? You got to ask.
Okay.
People aren't just going to call you up and say, "Oh, I saw this stuff on Facebook about your company." If you put out on all your socials and you put out videos of who you are and what you do, but if you're not saying, "Purchase it from me," buy it from me, ask for the business,
So like the difference between like, we've got the best widgets in town and adding, here's how to buy it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
We have the best widgets in town and buy it from me. Yeah.
Right. People want to be asked.
Yeah.
We all want to be asked. And so like, we have a mutual friend in our BNI chapter who did his presentation this week, and he shows it to me, and I'm like, that's awesome. But he didn't ask for a sale. He didn't ask for a referral. I'm like, you need to ask.
You're saying he showed it to you before he actually presented?
He did.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
okay,
he showed it to me before he presented it. I'm like, you need to add a slide in there to ask for the business.
Yeah.
Because you're going to a lot of work not to get any business from it.
Yeah.
So
totally.
I always have to stop and think, okay, is it really marketing? Is it really advertising? And that we really need both. You can't really do one without the other because you've got to make the sale.
Yeah.
So that's why I was talking about the difference. Right. Because when you think about the big box store story, marketing fell flat on its face.
Yeah.
The advertising worked.
Advertising was great. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Got you all excited about that tablet.
I know, right?
Yeah. Well, cool. Well, I hope this helps people get one step further in their business.
Absolutely.
Yeah. This podcast is produced by Chattanooga Podcast Studios, helping businesses and organizations make a deeper connection with their audience through the art of podcasting. An ideal referral for me would be a professional organization with a state or national presence. You can get in touch with me, Michael Crosa, by going to chatpod.com. That's chat with 2 T's, like Chattanooga, which is linked in the show notes below. Thanks again for listening to the BNI Southeast Tennessee podcast. My name is Michael Crosa. If you like what you hear, tell your chapter. Use this as your education minute. Subscribe on all of the platforms that you listen to your podcasts on. And Elaine, I'm a new dad.
Yes.
And I like dad jokes.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
We're going to hear one.
Here we go. Okay. 2 muffins are in an oven. One turns to the other and says, man, it's getting kind of hot in here. The other one turns and says, a talking muffin! All right, thanks again. We'll see you next week on BNI Southeast Tennessee.